Wagwan YouTube, what you saying? It is I, Diligent Fingers, and welcome back to another video. Right now, you're going to get into a track breakdown video taken from my Motion Gang Members Club, which is a Patreon style membership service that I set up back in January. If you want to join the Members Club and get these videos as soon as they come out, just go to www.diligentfingers.uk, go to memberships, pick tier 2 and you'll be able to get exclusive monthly tracks and track breakdown videos like this, plus merch like what I'm wearing now. But until then, enjoy the video. Yes, people. Wagwan. Welcome back to another track breakdown. This one, this week, this month. I don't know why I'm saying this week. This month, we're getting into Stampede. And I might actually edit the cover. Oh no, we don't need the cover on there. I'm gonna leave all of this in. I'm gonna try my hardest not to look at the OBS screen that I've got there. You know what I should do? There we go. Stop me looking at it. But yes, welcome to another track breakdown. This time we are breaking down my track Stampede, taken from the War sampler, which is going to be part of my album coming out later this year, 2024, called War in Peace. Yeah, man, I'm excited about this. Well, I'm excited about it because it's another example of when you hear about people making like tunes that seem to just take off. They seem to always be the simplest ones, and not all the ones that didn't take that much time. And with this one, it's kind of more of the same. Last month's one, my remix of Ray Keith's Chopper, I came away from that track breakdown. I might redo it, I don't know, but I did come away from that one feeling like I didn't really explain much, or there wasn't much to explain. It's similar with this one in terms of looking at the tracks now. Like, I've got 34 tracks. A couple of them have been muted, so they're not even actually being used. Yeah, let's just get into it. Let's just get straight into it. So, here in its entirety is Stampede. And like I said, there's a few tracks, like this track up here, that's been muted. So, there's not that much. There really isn't that much to it. Really, truly. So let's get into it. So obviously we've got the intro, and I'll say off the bat now, I'm never one of those that goes into making a track with a specific idea in mind. I remember talking about this with a couple of friends on Discord. I've never gone into a track with a specific idea in mind, like knowing exactly what I'm going to do, because I've never been at the point where I know exactly how to do everything that I actually want to do. And I'll be the first to admit, and I don't even think it's something that bad that you should have to admit, really and truly, but I'll be the first to say, you know, starting off with loops or starting off with sounds from a sound pack or a sample pack, whatever you want to call them. I call them sound packs. Starting off with things like that is never a bad thing. They can help you to really get to ideas quick. And that, I will say, I am a bit of a snob when it does come to like sound packs and sample packs. I tend to go for things that are more obscure rather than going to the usual places where that everybody is using. So like things like Splice, and Loop Cloud from Loop Masters, places like them I don't tend to frequent, because I know so many people are using sounds and samples from those places that I'm definitely going to accidentally fall on something that somebody else has used. But at the same time, and the extension of that is, even if it is something that somebody else has used, if you fuck it up, i.e., add some processing, reverse it, distortion plugins, chop it up and rearrange the melody within the sound or the sample that you're using. That's where the creativity comes in, I would say. So with that in mind, that's sort of the safety net that I kind of have when it comes to using sounds and samples and things like that, because there's no MIDI in this at all from what I can gather. It's all sounds and samples. There's a couple of MIDI bits in regards to the intro. There's MIDI for the sub, because I was using Sublab for the sub, which I'm falling in love with this bass plugin so much, man. It's so sick. I need to get the XL version of it as well, but I've just been so happy with just the standard version that I've not really felt the need to go for the XL version, but I've heard that it's really good and it comes with a lot of extra stuff and that. So one thing I will say is, when it came to the intro and that, I already had the drop first. Sometimes it works better that way. Sometimes I work better just working from the intro first and using the intro to dictate what type of track I'm going to make. So if it's a soft melodic intro, that might lead me more into a liquid direction. If it's an eerie type of intro like this is, it might lead me into more of an experimental, more of a neuro, more of a jump up, depending on the intro itself. So with this one, I just started off with these two bits here, the eerie pad, I think this. Not much to it. Not much to it at all. And that. Then from there, from I had that, it was like, right, okay, this is going to get into a bit dark. This is going to turn into a dark and eerie one. And that, especially with some of the impact sounds that I was using. Some quick effects in there just to help it along, and then from there, it was like, right, you need some drums. Found a really wicked loop. Thought I'd chop it up, rearrange it, and so this is the Zatis break. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how to pronounce that. Zatis break 174. Anyway, found that break and that, as well as a Cymatics house snare. Like I said, I go for stuff that's not within the genre that I'm working in. And that, even if it was house, I bring drum and bass elements into the house track just to make it different. And that, but from there, I thought, right, let's get some drums to go with it. I think on this, So what I've got here for the intro is I've got this Surge XT Effects plugin. Can I make it bigger? No, I can't make it bigger. I apologize. I hope you can see that good enough. But I've got this Surge XT Effects plugin with the ring modulator. I love the ring modulator option on here, and then I've automated it so it's full ringy, and then bring it down. So if you look in here on the output mix, that's where I've automated it. I think I've automated the frequency as well. So we'll have a look. If we watch these two bits, that one and that one. Come on, make it big. Well, make it big for me. This one here. And you should be able to see how I've done it. Do it with the intro with the pads as well. Yeah. I've got it automating up slightly, not too much. Really simple. Really simple. Just as something to introduce the actual break itself. What I've done with it. And what I've done with it. In. I think this was something that I did at the last minute with the vocals, with these like vocal stabs. Yeah. And I forgot. Look at that. I forgot to actually EQ. Yeah. That because there's a low end in there that's just not needed. Oh my god. Yeah. But this is what can happen sometimes. Sometimes you can just miss things. But here's something else that that I find seems to work better for me is shelving the low end rather than cutting it. Yeah. Bring that there. I don't know why I'm doing this now. Yeah. There we go. Because the tune's already out. Because I've taken out a bit of the low end, a fair bit of the low end in this vocal, lost a bit of the body, so I'll bring up the mids a little bit. Yeah. There you go. So it's still got some of that extra noise in that sample, but not as much low end where it's going to be interfering with other bits. Then again, I do drop out the drums as well as other things when those vocal bits are coming in. Yeah. I mean. Yeah. And there it is. This was the pièce de résistance, the cherry on top for this track when it came to the intro, because I was so happy. I was happy with everything. I tried doing like some extra edits and this, that, and the third, and that just to try and make the intro a bit more interesting, but there was just no point. Sorry. Apologies about that yawn. But there was just no point really. For me, it was good enough as it is, and that. But this sample I had found on TikTok. There's an animator that I'd found. He's got a really weird name, and I'm sure it might just be his username and stuff. But there's an animator. It might not even be a he. There's an animator that I found online, and he had loads of like Jamaican sort of arguments, Jamaican people telling stories, like loads of people from like my heritage, me being Jamaican, half Nigerian. Loads of little tidbits and things that I really just fell in love with. I thought, right, rather than using the typical, do you know what I'm saying, like ragga samples, like, and all that kind of stuff, reggae samples, reggae vocals and that, let's use conversations instead. Let's use tidbits, yet let's use stories, let's use arguments and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And finding this was just amazing. It was sick to actually find it. And when I was looking for it as well, because I was just like, what am I going to put in this thing now? And that really, just to set it off just before the drop. And that this just came in so handy. I forgot to turn my notifications off. Sorry. Got people coming around today, I think. Yeah, we got to record today. Okay. I'll have to do some editing in this. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to edit this video. Cool. And yeah, this actually set it off. This completely set it off for me. That if you clock me looking to the left sometimes, it's before I used to have my webcam to the left of me, and now I've got it straight on because I've got a new audio interface and all of this stuff. You know what? I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to leave it all in. I'm going to leave it all in because it happens. I'd rather things be authentic than not. See what I'm saying? But yeah. So finding this sample of an old Jamaican woman, do you know what I mean? Letting man know if you mess with us, we'll borrow with police friend gone. Boy! Do you know what I mean? Wicked sample. And if you fuck with we'll borrow with police friend gone. Boy! There we go. And what I also wanted to do as well, because I wanted to use the delay that I'd put on the track. So I think on this one I've got Baby Come Back delay on here. But I wanted it to cut out on the boy sample. So what I did is bounce that in place. So that's why you've got this long sample in the middle here. Long audio file in the middle here, sorry. Bounce it in place and then just cut it out when the boy part comes in. So let me just mute this section. And if you fuck with we'll borrow a police friend gun. Boy! And I still wanted the delay to ring out afterwards, but that's where you have a bit of a fade on the drop. So it's still doing what it needs to do, but it's not just like it cuts out, then it comes straight back in. Boy! Fade it nice and slowly back in there. And then we get to the bass sounds and the sub. And the bass sounds by the producer, Kufo. Bought the demo pack. Well, downloaded the demo pack for free. And that just to see what's in there. And yeah, there were simple sounds already in there. This mad bass sound here is actually, I'm sure, yeah, it's enough. Yeah, no, I think it's just the start. No, did I bounce it down? Did I end up bouncing it down? Because I know that's not the full extent of it. Yeah, I think I did. I think I bounced it down because it should be a lot longer. That sounds, but bass sound 23. Can't remember what pack this was out of. And that, but what I ended up doing, temper, distortion unit on it, take out on the second, doubled it up, but on the second part, on the second audio file, Take out a load of the top end. Just leave the bottom end. And that, so just that on its own. And then add an extra bit of sub. Bosh. Sorted. And I didn't even need to do much with that. And then the tempos, just so then it's not just a dry sound from the pack. You know, tempo ends up giving it a bit more bite, extra grit. You know, that's it. And then I think I do the same. Yep, do the same with the actual Kufo sounds as well. Standard robot sounds. But I've also no, that's drums. No, that's it. That's it. Literally, I feel so bad. I do. I feel really bad because there's not what there really isn't much to this at all. There really isn't much to this track at all. There really isn't. Like, but I made sure that these sounds are going along with the snare. I've not even done any side chaining or anything like that. But these sounds are quite higher up in the frequency register, the frequency range anyway. And that plus, because of the type of sounds that they are, it was more of a case. From what I can remember, it was more of a case of finding the balance between them both, and that because I didn't want a side chain. These. I didn't want to side chain any of these actual like jump up sounds and stuff and take the impact out of them. And that, so it's a case of just balancing those sounds with the actual snares that I've got. You know? You know, balancing in between. So find a healthy balance between them both. Then it's off to the races. Then after that, it's just making things sound, keeping things interesting. Like, I really love the idea of starting things off with a really grungy, gritty bass line instead of the typical just kick. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like the 4-bar sort of fake out style that has been going on, which is a good style. I'm not dissing it or anything like that. It's more just sort of developing on top of those type of ideas and that. Which is, I'm not going to say that this is groundbreaking or anything like that, you know, but I do appreciate like that people clocked that I was trying to do something different, and there was a lot of inspiration that did come from Simula and his take on jump up, or the Belgium jump up sound, which a lot of people put these sounds in that category, that subgenre of like drum and bass and jump up, the Belgium jump up sound and stuff. So, which has been going on for years. Like Headex has been championing that sound for so long, and that City Flow from Belgium itself. I remember going down to a couple of their events. Hold tight, Gunman, Frank Gunman, and all the crew from there. Yeah, man, that sound has been going on for years. Been getting pushed and championed for years. But I will say, in terms of my taste for Belgian jump up, I do prefer more Simula's take on it, where it's a lot more focused and structured. There's a lot more of a flow behind the idea rather than just getting all of these sounds and for lack of a better phrase, mashing them together, because a lot of the time that's what it sounds like to me, and that to me. But there's a few people in the scene that are like taking it and like really taking it in a wicked direction. Headaches being one of them, Simula being another, you know, and that. So yeah, I will say definitely this track was, yeah, definitely, like, I won't say heavily inspired, but definitely inspired by Simula and his take on Jump Up and Belgian Jump Up. So after the first, let me say 16 bars, get on to the next 16 before the switch. Yeah. And hold tight, RD, wicked Patreon pack that I got, which has got some wicked sounds in there. I think I loved these hats. Just set it off nicely and just added that extra element of energy and intrigue into the track. Yeah. And again, just to switch it up a bit so it's not so repetitive, and that, just pitch down these vocals an octave and we are all good. Loved that, and it's just, and then after that, I remember once it got to this stage where I had the bulk and the body of the tune just down, it's just finding those extra elements, those extra bits of ear candy, just to keep things interesting and keep things flowing, because I didn't really want to go overboard with this track at all. Again, less was more, and that, keeping it simple made it more effective, and that. So yeah, it was just finding those extra elements, those extra sounds, those extra bits of ear candy, just to keep things rolling on nicely, you know? And then I think we've got some more. Yeah, found another hats loop just to carry it off. Nice, man. Just nice. And then add in those extra elements. I found another stab sound. And that, just to go in between. So it just follows on. If you look at the actual waveforms, not there, sorry. Here on the second part. Sorry, my MX mouse just gets a bit funny with the scrolling and goes a bit too far. So they are overlapping, but they blend nicely. Do you know what I mean? I've not done any processing on this at all. None. No processing. I thought I did a little bit, but none. Didn't need to. For the type of sound that it is, didn't need to at all. Yeah, finding some extra different sounds so it's not the same. Oh, yeah. Then back into the breakdown. Back into the breakdown. I do feel a bit bad, because there isn't much for me to break down. There isn't much for me to explain. Sometimes tracks just work. Sometimes, if you keep things simple, you can put something together. Excuse me for the burp. You can put something together that works really well. That is effective, and that has body, that has form and structure, and that you don't have to overthink it. You know, it just works. It just sits nicely and just works. You know, and I can only say all of this and feel proud of this track for the fact that it got played on Noisier Vision Radio. Noisier picked it up and they played it on Vision Radio and stuff. I won't be surprised if they found a load of stuff, a whole load of stuff that they could pick out and say, yeah, this could be better. You could have done that better. Like me finding vocal samples in there that I've just not done much with at all. I've not done any EQing or processing or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it just proves that sometimes you don't need to overthink it. Sometimes less is most definitely more. Sometimes the simplest things are the most effective things, man. So yeah, man, I'm proud of this. I'm trying to see if there's anything else at all. Like on the drum group itself, I've got, just to bring the actual sounds out, brighten it up a bit, I've got Fresh Air, which is a free plugin, and that Surge XT, I think this is free as well for the ring modulation. Filtron, which I don't think I actually used. I don't think I actually used it. I think I just kept it at a certain bit. Hold on. Let me check the automation for this. And then Endless Smile, which I don't think I used as well. Hold on. Let me check the automation for this. I think it is just... Have I got more? Yeah, I did. So on this first one, Filtron cut off. So I brought it, yeah, just at the beginning. Just so then you can see that. Can I make this bigger? Can I make it big? No? You're gonna say no to me? You're not gonna... Alright, let me put it on the door itself, just so you can see it. You know, wait, I can't believe I can't make it bigger. That's well annoying. Has to stay that small. But just so then you can see what the Filtron is doing at the beginning. Got it on the high pass. So I've got it on the high pass. I'm bringing it right down. And then we've got the the ring modulator from Surge. You can see it's slightly going up. It's not much at all. And then it's slowly coming out. I've got the mix. I think this is the mix parameter that I'm editing. So the overall mix. And then it just drops straight in. All of them come into play just to transition from the intro to the drop. Using Endless Smile just to give it that sheen over the top of it, and then cut off as soon as the boy comes in. Cut straight off. That's all the effects on the actual drum group. I don't think I did much. Nope. Just group them together, use that to group them together. I didn't group the basses together, so that's fine. Yeah. Less is more, people. Less is more. Doesn't work every time, but in this instance, it most definitely did, man. And I'm happy and proud of it. I'm proud of this track. Let's have a run through. I just recognise the sub, not really talked about the sub, and how the sub is doing what it's doing. But yeah, what's giving it that mad sort of that hiccup that you can hear? It's duck, because I've got the kick side chaining with this sub bass to make sure that the kick's coming through. But in terms of plugins that I've got for the sub bass, one distortion unit, saturation unit, Szechuan saturator, and then some overdrive, which is a stock plugin within Logic itself, and that just a bit of extra drive with the tone up, just give it that extra bit of punch. Duck, so the kick is coming through all of that extra saturation and distortion, and then even more saturation with the little tube. And then with this actual patch having extra glide on there, portamento, shall we say. Sounds sick. Just sounds really nice. We've never used this before. You've got your pitch, you've got your filter, you've got your volume that you can control here. Then down here you've got the mixer for it all. You've got your filter here. Then extra distortion. So this patch has already got distortion on it. So it didn't even... Well, it did, because it sounds so much better. I love this section here where you can see what each part is actually doing. Good stuff. But again, simple. There's nothing crazy going on in the MIDI. Really simple track, but yeah, effective, and it did well. It's done well. It's still doing well. And I'm still getting people, saying to me that they really like the track. So I can't complain at all. I can't complain with this one at all. But yeah, with that, I'm going to finish off this track breakdown. Thank you to everybody who's checked it out. And that, thank you to all the members. I'm going to put up a poll to see what track of mine people would like me to break down next. If it like a forthcoming track that I've got coming up, or an old track that I've done. Doesn't even need to just be drum and bass, it could be hip hop. any of my Millennium Jazz music stuff that I've done, like anything, because I don't want to just keep it to just one genre when I know and you not know that I make other stuff as well outside of drum and bass, and those things really do inform and like inspire what I do in other genres as well. Stuff that I do in hip hop ends up being inspiration for stuff that I do in drum and bass and vice versa and stuff, you know. So yeah, it'd be wicked to have other genres that I make like broken down, other tracks that I've done, but it's all up to you members, gang, you know, it's all up to you. What track would you like to see me break down, especially for next month, March, that's coming up? What would you like me to break down next? But with that, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week. Take it easy, take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health, because good mental health is wealth. Trust me. And as always, blessings to you all.